Good afternoon, friends. Today, I'm going to attempt to make Mexican restaurant style cheese dip. Spent many hours online the last couple weeks researching recipes and getting eyewitness accounts for people who actually work at Mexican restaurants. A lot of them call it Mexican American style because apparently cheese dip isn't that big in Mexico like it is here because we're fat Americans. Anyways, so I've been pretty much just going through recipes online and trying to think of some stuff, and I found one that I think might work. And apparently you use white American cheese because I can kind of taste it anyways when I go to a Mexican restaurant, but I guess it's for the cost as well, and it melts down really good. And I went to our local BJ's, which is a discount store, kind of like Sam's Club or Costco. You gotta have a membership. They have Land O'Lakes, the good stuff, white American cheese for $4.99 a pound. And I got it pre-bagged because I did not want to wait in that deli line. So this is 1.2 pounds. So I'm gonna divide this in half because I'm going to try this recipe that I found. It calls for about a quarter cup of milk, and most stuff I've read online says to use evaporated milk because the water content's removed, and it's supposed to make the cheese a good texture and not turn powdery or something as it starts to go bad. So I got 4 cans of evaporated milk. I probably won't use it all, but I'd rather have some left over than to run out in the middle of this thing. And then the recipe I'm going to try in one of them calls for a quarter teaspoon, or maybe it's a tablespoon. Hold on, let me check my notes. A quarter teaspoon of cumin, a quarter teaspoon of garlic salt, 1 tablespoon of butter, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and then about a half pound of cheese. So when I divide this in half, if the weight on the label is accurate, it's going to be about 0.60 pounds, so a little bit over a half, but you start with a quarter cup of the milk, and then you kind of tweak it however you like the consistency. So in one of these crock pots, I'm going to do that recipe with the seasonings. And then in the other, I'm just going to do straight up milk and cheese by itself because I want to see how that tastes by itself, which might need a little salt at the end. But I'm going to see how the seasoned one tastes with the butter as well, and then how a plain milk and cheese one tastes. So I'm going to get these in the crock pots and get them started, and I will be right back. Here is the cheese and the evaporated milk. This one will have the butter and seasonings in it. That recipe I'm kind of tweaking to my own. Says to add the seasonings at the end after the cheese, milk, and butter are melted, so I'm going to do that. So I've got these on low. This one is just the cheese and the evaporated milk, and then I'm going to cover them. Let them go. You got to stir them constantly or they're going to want to burn to the bottom of the crock pot, which you don't want. You can do this on the stove too, but you're really going to want to keep it low and watch it like a hawk and keep stirring it so it doesn't burn and start scorching and sticking to the pot. A lot of stuff I've read said it's better to use cheese you get sliced from the deli or have them cut you off a big chunk that you can shred your own, because if you buy the pre-bagged shredded cheese, they put something in there that keeps it from clumping up easy, and it can ruin the flavor of the cheese dip. So I also like the Velveeta style blocks of Queso Blanco. I say the Velveeta style because my local Kroger is where I get the Kroger brand Queso Blanco with jalapenos, which I think is pretty good. But then the Velveeta, which is $1 more sometimes, to me, I don't think it has that great of a flavor. And doing it this way might be maybe a couple dollars or so more expensive than just buying the block of the Kroger Queso Blanco. But if I can get the authentic flavor and texture like they have at local restaurants, then it'll be worth it. So I'm going to get these covered, let them go for a while. Hopefully they don't take too long, but I'm going to continuously check and monitor and stir as needed, and I'll be back whenever things are looking creamy. Here's an update on the cheeses. The one that has a tablespoon of butter in it seems to be smoother than the one that's just cheese and evaporated milk. So I'm wondering if that butter really helps it that much. But I've had to keep adding evaporated milk to these because I like mine more liquidy. I've done 1/4 of a cup at a time. So now I'm up to a full cup of evaporated milk in both of these. And the one that's just cheese and evaporated milk seems to be thicker, so I'm wondering if the butter is a key. I'll do a taste test though once it's thinner before I add any butter, and then I'll see if the butter thins it out too much. But once this is all smooth, I'll be ready to add the seasonings to this one on the left and then try out both of them. Here's an update on the final product. The one with the seasonings tastes good. The one with just milk and cheese, it wasn't melting as easy as the one with the seasonings and the butter. So I put a tablespoon of butter in it and it kind of equaled out. And then I just salted for flavor, but the one with just milk, cheese, and butter is it's the one that looks and tastes the closest to our local restaurants. So I ended up doing about 1.5 cups of evaporated milk to try to get it to the consistency that I wanted, because I like mine a little bit more runny like that and not as chunky and thick. So overall, I'd say this one right here that's more simple, to me at least, seems to be the best tasting one, is more accurate to what I'm used to. Although one of the seasonings is also delicious.